actually Yuna is like an advocate for having a whiteboard, and so he puts a whiteboard up above his like computer for all his shit, like his plans, like his weekly schedule, things he needs to focus on and shit. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Like when I'm having a bad stream or something, or like a stream where I'm getting frustrated and I'm too focused on the game rather than the stream, I need to have a reminder. Like maybe the only thing that this huge whiteboard needs is just like stop being a pussy and stream better, you idiot.
R- Hey guys, welcome to Streamers Connected. This is the underground segment of the GK podcast where we pull on streamers and discuss the experiences and difficulties that we face while streaming. I'm your host, King, and today I am joined by Isker Daddy over here. Um, how are you doing on this
That's
lovely day,
me.
dude?
Dude, I'm great.
That's
I'm
good to hear.
fantastic. Yeah,
We,
thanks for having me.
we've been having some great conversations, so I thought I'd just throw on the record and like we'll just get a rolling. But today I wanted to talk about things like burnout, particularly for streamers, because I feel like a lot of people have experienced it. I think I've experienced it. You've probably experienced
Yeah.
it too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Um, so my big question here is just like, how do you think that people handle burnout? Like, what is the best way to do that? How do you handle it?
So when I handle burnout, I find that just taking a step back and being honest with the community is like the best way to do it. I mean, look, like small content creators can't always just take off work completely and do their
Yeah,
content, right? Like you have to find the balance between work, social life, if you want, and then like streaming. So it's like I don't know when you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out. So I feel like with me, I always just go like, hey guys, I was gonna stream today. I was gonna stream tomorrow. Look, I need to take that time. And most of the time, like the people that really care, they're gonna be like, dude, I get it. Like
yeah.
treat yourself and like make sure you're good. Yeah.
I think that I agree. I think that's like really important to like take your time off, especially I think it really depends on what you're looking at it for. And I think that everyone should at first look at streaming as just like a hobby because that's why you started in the first place, you know? Like nobody starts out streaming as like I want to do this full time, you know? And like if you start to take it a little bit more seriously, then I think you need to like pace yourself kind of like if you feel like you're going to burn out by like the content that you're doing, then you need to realize that and you need to like handle it accordingly. You need to like space things out. You need to take
Yeah.
breaks, like
To
you
pull
said.
back a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and people,
I feel like that's why like having a schedule is really good. Like setting out a schedule and like keeping it like bare bones, bare minimum to start,
yeah.
and then adding to it when you can. And when you feel like it's too much, be like, okay, this is my schedule, and if it works, stick with it. If it doesn't, revise it.
Do you have a schedule this year?
You know what? Okay, so it's funny you bring that up because so I was talking to Yuna. So Yuna is a buddy of mine for people who don't know. He also does content creation,
Yeah,
um,
Yuna's awesome.
YouTube channel, blah blah blah. It's not about him. It's about me. No. And we were talking about how one thing that I need to improve on is actually having a set schedule. And so for the longest time I did, but then my schedule started off with nights and changed to like early mornings and shit. And so that's why we're doing this podcast at like 4 p.m. fucking Central Time or something because you can't catch me at 9 p.m. anymore. So I'm asleep.
No, I
So
respect that so much,
yeah,
honestly. Like I have
it's
another friend
honestly it's
too.
sick.
I have another friend who I used to stay up and we would talk all night because they would just be awake, you know, and it was like cool. And then they told me they're like, "Hey, I'm an adult now, so I actually I need to start sleeping earlier." And I'm like, "Oh, and like you can't really argue with that, but it's like it feels like really weird as somebody who's like absolutely destroying everything. Like I'm just staying up until 6 a.m. and I'm like that's one of the reasons I actually kind of love it though. And I'm not like incentivizing anybody to stay up till 6 a.m. Get your sleep, but it's actually like really cool for me because I'm such a social person that it's like when I stay up that late, the only person I have to talk to is like Christo, and he's from Australia, so that's why.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
and I love Christo. We will have those conversations, but it's like it's just yeah, my Australian friend. That's who I have.
Yo,
um,
I love it so much. I just like wake up and see Christo's like Naruto
yeah,
updates. Pretty much, I wake
he
up at
is
6 a.m. and
so
he's just
funny.
flipping
Like
out about it.
I think
Yeah,
he's been working it on social media recently. I think he's actually like he's trying. Like
dude, I've seen that actually. I think that's something I've been saying I need to get more into, and I've been like trying to push myself to do it.
yeah,
Like I know that's something you're big into and something you're good at, and it's something I need to start doing now that I'm not playing League of Legends. You know?
yeah. I
once you
think
do
that I'm
so.
only like I think I'm only decent at it because I like forced myself to do it when I started. Because like I've gone back, YouTube in particular, I've gone back and watched my YouTube videos. They're pretty bad, like my really old ones. Like I started when I was in high school, but like even my tweets and stuff, I didn't like figure out what I wanted to do on Twitter for like a long time, and even now I'm like still kind of like feeling it out. Same thing with Instagram. I don't have a clue what I'm doing on Instagram, but I'm trying. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know, you just gotta try it. Eventually, you like find something that you like, and you just go with it. You know what I've been doing recently? I've been on LinkedIn, and I've been just posting blogs.
LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Really?
I've been posting blogs about how like the work that I'm putting into things, like the experiences that I have as I'm working on stuff, like my emotions and everything. And I don't know if they're doing very well, and I don't know if it's a good idea for me to be doing this, but I'm doing it, and
So
I'm enjoying it.
are you doing LinkedIn because you want to like broaden your scope or something, or is it because like you can't put that shit on Twitter and you don't want to put that shit on your Twitter
So
blogs? Because you can do
it's a little bit of
Twitter,
both,
right?
honestly. I could post like longer blogs on Twitter, but it wouldn't like transfer very well because Twitter's a platform like directed for like smaller tweets and stuff like that.
Sure.
So the reason I'm doing it is because one, I think it's like gonna be interesting if I'm able to grow on that platform because I'll be able to connect with like the businesses and stuff. So I might be able to find sponsorships that way. I also might be able to find other creators. There's not necessarily a ton of creators on LinkedIn for something like this, but there are a few. And then also, LinkedIn has like pretty good organic growth apparently right now. So I just wanted to try that out. I wanted to figure out the platform. If it doesn't work out for me, then it doesn't work out. It's not really an investment that I'm making. It's just okay. Well, here's like something to do. I'll be like making a
Yeah.
video and I'll have a thought and I'm like, I'm gonna go post a blog about that, and it's just a place for me to blog. Um,
Yeah. That's kind of what my Twitter is right now. I just
yeah,
like a random blip it just like pops into my head. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll put it on Twitter. Like, fuck it. Like, I feel like that's
yeah,
the point where I'm at, where I'm no longer just liking and retweeting shit. I'm now trying to think of things to like actually add to Twitter and
yeah.
add to my like page or whatever. I guess so.
I don't know. It's like yeah, it's really difficult to find what you want to do, but like the big thing is you're not going to find it if you don't try. That's
Yeah,
like the best way to
super
do it.
true. Yeah,
Um,
good point. Good point.
I've been kind of wondering this question recently. Just like and it's almost philosophical. I don't really know if there's necessarily a
Oh
right or
shit,
wrong answer to this.
we're getting deep. Yeah, dude,
Um,
bring it on.
while I'm pursuing like full time streaming or something, I'm wondering what is like the end goal of streaming. Like, I think that a lot of people don't really think because once you've made it, you have to do it more. Like, there's never like a yeah, like you made it. No, it's like okay, well, yeah, now you have to keep putting out content. The content never ends. So I don't.
I, f- I don't know. I feel like streaming, like endgame, is continuity. Like, and as stupid as that sounds, right? Like, I feel like endgame streaming is waking up and being excited to stream something and having people show up and want to watch you do it. And like also, if it's full time, obviously money's a factor.
Yeah,
You have to be able to like supplement. It has to supplement your income, right? Like, if that makes sense. So it's like
yeah,
I feel like the end goal is to reach your goals that you've set out for streaming, of course, and just wake up every day and just be completely satisfied with what you're doing. And I feel like that should be everyone's goal, like end game for jobs and
for
just
anything.
like
Yeah.
what you do in life. Like I feel like, yeah, dude, this actually did get fucking philosophical
No,
for sure,
I like it.
for real. Like I think that's an end goal. Like if you're not waking up happy, like what's the point? I feel like a lot of people put a ton of um their energy in trying to make money or get like the objects and
Yeah.
stuff like that, synthetic things. But I feel like if you're not waking up like super happy, what's the point?
And I think that ties back into honestly the burnout thing as well. Because I don't think that this should be something that you're like not happy while you're pursuing too. Because
Yeah,
that's what I think. Like every day when I wake up, when I roll out of bed, the first thing I do is I come to my computer right now and I start working on it again because I love it. It's I like no questions asked because it's just okay. Well, I gotta go edit the video, so I'm gonna go do that. And it's like it feels good. Like I enjoy this. But it's like if I ever got to a point where I like got up and I rolled out of bed and I started doing this and I was like, I hate this. I would not do it. And
yeah,
that's something I'm like pretty big on, and I know that for a fact. I'm not somebody who can force myself to do things that I just like really don't want to do. I've had jobs in the past that I just like I come in and I'm like, Yeah, I don't like this, and I quit. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just done. So it's just, yeah, it's just, end goal straight. I like that. Yeah, just to be happy. I was watching. Do you know who Destiny is? Um,
yeah, I know Destiny. Yeah,
I was watching his podcast, I think, a while ago. That he does. Obviously, our podcast. I don't know. Obviously, if you don't watch his podcast, we've taken a little inspiration from him. I really like respect the man, and I like the stuff that he does. But he's saying it's so interesting at that scale. He actually like he thinks that it's not it doesn't make sense to do things that you can pay somebody else to do at his scale, you know? So what he does is he pays people to do like his Instagram content. I've heard this before. People he pays people to do his YouTube content. That I've heard of that before. But it's just
yeah,
like the idea of like Instagram too. It's like I feel it feels so weird. Like, oh man, that's somebody else that runs his account because I follow his account and I'm like, oh, that's that like it makes so much sense, but it's also like it's wild to me because like I'm
yeah.
putting in
Like
all this work right now, but in the future, am I going to be like is somebody else going to be doing what I'm doing?
I almost don't know if I could hand off like my work to somebody. I feel like that'd be tough for me. Like you bust ass, right? And like
Yeah,
you put all this effort into growing your social medias or growing your platform and community and everything, just to hand it off and be like, okay, well, I'm big enough. I'm gonna focus on this. Hire a bunch of like social media experts and have them just like run your shit. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if I could do it. I think it's smart. It's almost like I don't know. You're a homeowner or something, and then you're
yeah.
just like, I don't know how to build a deck, or like, or maybe you do know how to build a deck, but you have to also build a porch. It's like I'll build the porch and somebody else builds the deck
Wait, what's
or
the
something
difference
like that.
between a porch and a deck?
I think a porch is just something like at your landing, like at the front of your house. Isn't that a porch? And then the deck is like I don't know. I always think it's like this raised thing
We're streamers. We
at
don't
the
talk
back
about
of
this
the
stuff.
house. Yeah, I don't build a deck or a porch, dude. I get people that do that for me if I had to.
No, that's funny. Um, yeah, like I don't know. I was telling Brendan the same thing. How like he was talking about hiring an editor, and I asked him like how much does an editor normally go for, you know? And he gave me some insights. If you're curious, I think he said like at
I am
minimum like 50. Like
like a
um
video.
yeah, he's like if it's like bad editing, probably like 50. Like
Yeah, that seems reasonable. 50 for a bad edit.
yeah, for like he said for like a 10-minute video. I don't really know what I'm editing. Like if it's like a 10-minute like Brendan style video, I was like, dude, I don't even know what that's gonna cost because his videos are like highly edited and like like 3 minutes long. So it's just like I
Dude,
don't
it's
know.
true. Actually, he's a crazy
He's so
editor.
good.
He's really good. He's talented.
It that makes me like feel so good as like somebody who lives in the same town as him too. Like whenever I see like other creators around, it just makes me like so happy because I'm from like a small town in North Dakota where it's like
Yeah,
a lot of the times people are like, "Oh yeah, I stream," and I'm like, "Oh, do you?" And then it's like they have like one follower, and I'm like, "Okay,
yeah,
like you streamed once." Like, but no, Brendan works like really hard and stuff, and I respect that. But
yeah.
have you ever noticed like a disconnect between like larger streamers and like moderate sized streamers? I don't really know if you watch a lot of that type of content, but
Disconnect how?
so I've noticed like I think that that's what like separates the two sometimes, you know? Like when I watch larger content creators, it just feels like their stream like there's a reason that it's large. And like moderate sized content creators, like they're entertaining, but they're more like community based. And
I
honestly, I
see.
feel like that almost holds them back, you know? Like
Yeah, because I was thinking about this. I mean, like I think about a lot of things, shower thoughts and stuff. You sitting on the toilet with your phone,
yeah.
like fucking. Think about it like this: like if you are watching a streamer and they are too big, cool, important, hang with the hottest dudes, go to the fucking chillest bars, like they're just too cool for you. Like there's that like how do I put it? Like you can't reach them, sort of
Yeah.
thing. So you kind of put them on a pedestal. You think they're just the hottest shit, and their content's good, and so you watch them, and they're popular, so you watch them. But then you go to these other ones, like I don't know, middle ground, like you said, and they talk to you, they give you attention. It's fantastic. That's all great. It's all community. But at the end of the day, you can see that they're just a human being. I don't know if that
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I feel
Like
like
I think it's
that
a
that
good thing, but I also don't think that it's a good thing for their channel, you know? Like it's so weird.
yeah, oddly enough, like I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain that because it's like it both say like the honestly to me the community based streamer seems like a better fit, but I also find myself watching streamers like Scar and
Yeah.
so on, and that's because they have the content I want to watch and they're super accessible.
I
I
think what
know where to find
happens
them.
is like when it becomes about the community when your stream does, it inhibits you from growing past that, you know? Because if it's about the community, but when you start to get to the point where like people don't feel noticed, people start to leave, which brings you
Yeah,
back to the level where like you're not at that point. Like you're
yeah.
back to the point where you can engage with people. And it's like I don't know if that's right. For example, to like somebody could probably prove me wrong and be like, well, this streamer like they grew past that, and it's like like it's possible, but it's also
Oh,
like
I'm sure both. I'm sure both happened.
I just
Like,
like it's kind of interesting to me. Like it's really interesting to me, like how different those two streamers are. Because we'll see a viewer with 200 viewers, and like to us, they made it. You know, that's what it
oh
feels
yeah,
like a lot of the time.
that's a full time streamer right there.
Yeah, but like the idea that they could be so much larger than that is wild to me. Like
Yeah.
like running
I
their own
wonder
business
where like
practically.
I wonder if that's a thing where like when you hit 300 to 400 like viewers, let's say, you're in that middle ground. If like it stops being a grind and it just starts being a pop off. Like you
Yeah,
have to go from instead of grinding, let's say all the way up to 300 viewers, it's and then like grinding again from 300 viewers to let's say like 3,000 viewers. It's less of a grind and more of a like, oh, this guy had a hilarious video, or this guy's like number one at this, and like he's the best dude at the new hottest game or something.
yeah,
And I wonder if that's the only way you can grow at that point. And if so, it's kind of like it feels kind of sad a little bit. Like I feel for the people that probably deserve to just pop the heck off.
yeah.
Can't.
No, like, and I think that has like something to tie into when people like feel like or they're trying to like make it on Twitch, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like you've never made it, and I think that's important for like people to understand is that like once you hit partner, that's only 75 viewers by the way, mind you, and you know that of course, but once you hit partner, you're going to be striving to keep that requirement, and then it's like okay, well now you're trying to grow from partner, so you have 75 viewers. Why can't I have 100? You know, I just want to break 100. So you finally break 100. It's like, dude, like, I just this person has 200 viewers. I just want to be
Two
like them.
hundo's got to be the one. Two
Yeah,
hundo's the
and
number. Like it's just goal
it
after
never
goal.
ends. And then like the
Yeah.
more you're gonna grow, the more you're just gonna want to be like the bigger people. So it's like I don't think that you need to like make it on Twitch. I think that you just need to be like happy with the content that you are producing, and
Yep.
because of that, maybe you will make it. You know? Uh,
I don't think I'd ever even want to be like. I mean, well, that's not true. I'm not going to say that I'd never want to be like the ridiculous like a ninja or something.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say I don't want to be that because I'm sure everyone would like to try that. But I think I'd be happier with just like, hey, I don't have to work anymore. I can now focus on streaming and content creating
yeah,
and just build a sick community because I feel like that'd be something I'd enjoy more than just almost like the loneliness
yeah.
that I imagine some of the like bigger streamers may feel. I don't know,
That's what
but
I've
like
heard
it
from
kind of
like a lot of
that's
entrepreneurs too. Like
yeah,
they feel lonely. Like
like
they have
that's
this
the
massive
disconnect.
company. Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll have like a massive company and they'll just be like, yeah, it's like the lonely life of an entrepreneur. That's what they say because they are always working. They are always trying to like get that better thing. It's almost like it's almost an illness, honestly, like ambition. Like,
like
but
as long as they enjoy it, I guess it's fine. But otherwise, like step the heck back. Maybe I don't know,
you getting swatted, Isker?
dude. I get swatted like 4 times a day. Honestly, it's crazy around here.
Where are you from again? Ontario?
Ottawa,
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just this area. This area just like is common for just sirens. I don't know why.
Okay.
They just go down this road a lot.
That was really
So you
funny.
hear it all the time.
When my brother used to live in California, he would just hear like gunshots like weekly.
Seriously?
He lived in the ghetto. Like
Oh
it
no.
was not good for him. But
I've never lived in an area like that. I've been jumped before
you have.
twice. I have. So once here in Ottawa, like 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that, and then once years ago in Belleville. I got to tell you this Belleville story. The one in Ottawa was like more violent. It wasn't too bad. Whatever. The one in Belleville, fucking hilarious. Belleville, for people who don't know, Belleville is small town Ontario. It's pretty much like think of small town to like North Dakota, identical. 50,000 people, whatever.
That's about where I'm at.
So here, okay. So I used to work at a Swiss Chalet. Do you know? Do you guys have Swiss over there?
Swiss, like the brand.
Swiss Chalet. No. It's like a chicken joint,
Okay, no, we don't have
pretty
that.
much. Yeah, it's like a restaurant sit down. Like old people go get their dinner at 3 p.m. every day, and then go to bed at 4. I don't know. Anyways, I used to work there. It's rotisserie chicken. I used to walk from there to my house, which was like an hour and 20-minute walk or something. And so I used to do that like every day when I worked. And so one of the nights, because I used to do like cleaning shifts and shit at the end of work, because I was a workaholic for whatever reason, I would do cleaning shifts and I would leave at like 1:30 in the
I'll
morning.
tell you why you were a workaholic. It's because you had to walk an hour and a half to get home.
True. You get there, you never fucking leave.
Yeah.
Just build a hammock. Anyways, and I'm leaving. I hardly have left, like 10 minutes, and this guy I could see stumbling across like the street. I'm like, whatever. Drunk dude, late at night in Belleville, classic. What else is there to do? I'm walking home. Probably like 2 minutes later, I get pushed like from behind a little bit, like nudged almost as if like he was drunk and tried to like get my attention. I have no clue. And I turn around and I take my headphones off because I'm blasting music. And I see him in, and he's like just mumbling. He's like, like, okay, dude. I'm like, dude, you good? Like, bro, you good? Like, I'm here to help. And he's like, he like started to get like a little more abrasive and aggressive, and like he went to push me, and he fell over. He fell the fuck over. And I'm like, I take a step back and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, like scared
Did you like
because
want to
like
call
some
somebody
drunk dude.
or like
Yeah, I was
no
like,
like
dude,
no
should I just
concern for this guy? Like
get me out of here? No, I actually, so I go over like maybe 5 seconds later, and I like make sure he's good. He's just muttering. I help him up. He says, oh, thanks, man, thanks. Oh man, do you have a cigarette on you? I'm like, no, dude, get away from me. He like tried to fucking push me over, and then tried to bum the cig off me.
That's
And I
funny.
just like I walked super quickly away. That
Yeah.
was I got
No, I
jumped.
don't. You got that's your jump story. The other time, like, did they actually like take money from you or like
Yeah, this time, so this time was like more serious. This was like on a street like behind. I was also walking home, but this time from a party,
you
and
should
it
stop
was
walking
like we
home,
were.
dude?
I gotta stop walking. We walking out here. We gotta
Yeah.
stop. Take the bus. Take the bus, children. Um, and fucking this time, like I did get pushed from behind again. Apparently, that's the attacker's move. So careful. Watch your back.
The last guy was just
Um,
drunk. That was the problem.
yeah. He was antisocial. He couldn't actually talk to my face.
Yeah.
But I get pushed from behind. I fell. Like they tackled me. There were two of them, and so I had my bag on me, and they were just trying to get my bag. And so what happened is they started pulling on my bag, and I like was on the side of like a busy street, but it was late at night, so there was like no one there. And so what happened was had I don't know. I think I like tried to brace or something. I braced, and then like I could feel like one of them try to grab at my bag because they were lifting me up as well a bit. So they're kind of like, shaking me a bit, trying to get my bag. I'm like, dude, this guy's trying to get my bag. Like, I got all my shit in there. Like, I don't want to get that shit replaced. Hell no.
Yeah.
Like, I was just scared. I was just like grabbing my bag and stuff. Like, that was like a pillow that for safety or something, I think was what I was thinking. Anyways, I held on to it. They like, I had my, like, I was holding on to it like my stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like kicking at the bag and like at me. And so I guess some like I heard some cars go by, and eventually they didn't get what they wanted, and they ran away. And I got
Hell yeah. That's why you're
I
Isker
had
Daddy.
boom, I had some
Yeah.
bruising. I got bit, like I got fucked, but
They didn't take
it wasn't
they didn't
one
take
piece.
anything from you, dude.
Damn right,
You held
that's
on to
my
it.
bag.
Heck yeah, that's a
Woo.
win. I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I was worried that they were gonna like they pulled a gun on you or something, and it's like,
That's
dude,
what I'm saying. Like
like,
it could have gone so much worse. Like
yeah,
I've heard of like horror stories, and I
yeah,
lucked out.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's sketchy. Nothing like that happens in North Dakota. Like, somebody will see you fall over, and then they will like apologize to you. They're like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And it's like, what? You didn't do anything. Like, but no, people are crazy.
North Dakota is actually just Canada's little brother.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly.
Nice.
That's all I had planned for this. I like this
Nice.
length though. It was
Honestly, King, before you end, I'm gonna ask about you. Like
okay.
we talked a lot about me, and you're working on a lot of stuff. Are you free to share that? Because I'm curious.
The stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah, of course.
So it's mostly videos. It's just that's basically a lot of what I'm working on. I'm starting this series. Obviously, the streamers connected and stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited for that. I have a second YouTube channel now for the podcast. If you wanted to be the
Ooh.
first follower, you're welcome to, or the first subscriber. We
I'm
don't
fucking
have
with
any
it.
subs, not even Gotus yet. But check out check. I can't show these to the. I can't show these on.
Shout it out.
But I'm gonna link you this later. And
Yeah.
these thumbnails, I am so proud of them. So basically, I spent an entire day the other day, right? I was sitting there, I was working on those podcast stuff. This is the very last podcast, the one with Diego. I took the entire thing. This took me 12 hours. Took the entire podcast,
God.
segmented it. I edited the segments like slightly so I could like try to hook the viewer at the beginning and then like so they could like get a piece of the conversation that we were having and
Okay.
then they could like watch through it.
Yeah.
It took a while to export each one of these videos because each video is around 15, 20 minutes, you know. And then I created individual thumbnails for each video, as well as I had to create graphics for the channel itself, the banner for the YouTube channel, and the logo and everything. It took me around 12 hours to do all that, and it feels good. I feel really good about it.
I'm happy it feels good because I think about how much work people put into editing in YouTube, and I'm just like clicking an on button and just like chilling.
Yeah,
Like like for streaming, like the difference.
you don't need to be doing that though, dude. Like I just I like I
True.
want people to realize that like there are infinite amount of things that you can put your time into. There are like it's on like
Yeah.
honestly. That was the biggest thing that motivated me to start this YouTube channel for the GK podcast, which is kind of disappointing because I'm thinking like a lot of this work that I'm putting in here, nobody's going to see, and I'm almost okay with that. You know, like because it's just this channel doesn't have any subs, and I'm not really like I don't really know how to push this because I'm already pushing one YouTube channel. I don't want to be like, hey, by the way, I got a second YouTube channel. Go check that out. And I was also thinking like, should I be uploading this stuff to my original YouTube channel? But I'm gonna keep that content separate because it's not the same stuff that I'm doing.
You could always just like have it there,
Yeah,
and like I don't know, maybe later on with your YouTube doing your thing and like having it grow. Be like, hey, by the way, we've been doing a podcast for like a year.
yeah.
Uh, here's a bunch of content. Go check it out.
I don't know if the algorithm like catches on to it too, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Because my big thing, this is my big question, and like if anybody ever ends up watching this, and you're like you're a YouTube dude, tell me, do I need to be like pushing these videos around like the internet? Do I need to be like posting on Reddit and like posting them on Twitter and everything for them to grow? Or like if I am uploading consistently good content on like a weekly basis, will the YouTube algorithm take it? And I know that you probably don't have the answer to that question, but like that is my big like I don't know. So because I don't know, the only thing that I can do is continue to upload consistent content, like and just hope. Like that's
Yeah, from I don't know, from what I hear, it's like having the schedule. Like you might have the video done on like I don't know Thursday at 1 in the morning, but like that's not the time you should upload it, right?
yep.
There's like little things like that, but that's pretty much my the extent of my knowledge about YouTube. Just whatever Eunice told me.
And what's really nice too is like since I'm on the Tuesday Thursday or yeah upload schedule, and it's really cool because I can a lot of the times I will have my video done on like Sunday, like the one
Yeah,
that I'm going to post on Tuesday, it'll be done on Sunday, and it's like I have an extra day that means to get started on the next one, you know. So it's like it's
and
really
that's
cool.
perfect.
It's
That's
awesome.
kind of the thing we should have done in school. Is like you get a bunch of projects, and it's like yeah, just get that shit done. It's due on Tuesday. Get it done by like fucking Thursday the week before,
Yeah.
so you can work on other ones. But like, who the fuck cares?
I've always
Here we
been a
are.
last minute guy, and right now I'm not. If I don't have the video done the day before, I'm going to be very stressed out because I need to get it out. You know, like it's a requirement that I have. But
Yeah, I mean, procrastination is just like what, either like a lack of interest or lack of time management.
yeah,
So I mean, if you're digging this and you're putting the time to it,
that's
of
a
course you're gonna get it done.
that's a really good analysis. I never really thought about it like that. But
I know I'm really smart,
you're an intelligent dude, Isker. I respect you a lot. I'm glad that you hosted me that one time, and then I decided to host you back, and we became
dude.
friends.
For real. Here
Yeah,
we are now. Look at it.
here we are now,
Married on a
married.
podcast.
Okay, that's what I got. I hope you have a good day, dude. Take it easy. I'm gonna end this segment. If
You
you
as
want to
well,
play some
man.
TFT later,
Hell yeah.
I might have time for like one game, but we'll see.
Yeah, let me know, man. I might be asleep. We'll see.
I forgot. I forgot you're going to bed. Okay. Have a good sleep, dude.